In the sixth he setteth forth the chief and principal work of faith, the battle of the Spirit against the flesh, how the Spirit laboureth and enforceth to kill the remnant of sin and lust which remain in the flesh, after our justifying. And this chapter teacheth us that we are not so free from sin through faith, that we should henceforth go up and down idle, careless, and sure of ourselves, as though there were now no more sin in us. Yes, there is sin remaining in us, but it is not reckoned because of faith and of the Spirit which fight against it, whereof we have enough to do all our lives long, to tame our bodies, and to compel the members to obey the Spirit and not the appetites, that thereby we might be like unto Christ's death and resurrection, and might fulfill our baptism, which signifieth the mortifying of sins and the new life of grace. For this battle ceaseth not in us until the last breath, and until that sin be utterly slain by the death of the body. This thing, I mean to tame the body and so forth, we are able to do, saith he, saying we are under grace and not under the law. What it is not to be under the law, he himself expoundeth. For not to be under the law is not so to be understand that every man may do what him lusteth, but not to be under the law is to have a free heart renewed with the Spirit, so that thou hast lust inwardly of thine own accord to do that which the law commandeth, without compulsion, yea, though there were no law. For grace, that is to say God's favour, bringeth us the Spirit, and maketh us love the law. So is there now no more sin, neither is the law now any more against us, but at one, and agreed with us, and we with it. But to be under the law is to deal with the works of the law, and to work without the Spirit and grace. For so long, no doubt, sin reigneth in us through the law, that is to say, the law declareth that we are under sin, and that sin hath power and dominion over us, saying, we cannot fulfill the law, namely within the heart. For as much as no man of nature favoureth the law, consenteth thereunto, and delighteth therein. Which thing is exceeding great sin, that we cannot consent to the law, which law is nothing else save the will of God. This is the right freedom and liberty from sin and from the law, whereof he writeth unto the end of this chapter, that it is a freedom to do good only with lust, and to live well without compulsion of the law. Wherefore this freedom is spiritual freedom, which destroyeth not the law, but ministereth that which the law requireth, and wherewith the law is fulfilled, that is to understand, lust and love, wherewith the law is stilled, and accuseth us no more, compelleth us no more, neither hath aught to crave of us any more. Even as though thou were in debt to another man, and were not able to pay, two manner ways mightest thou be loosed. One way, if he would require nothing of thee, and break thine obligation. Another way, if some other good man would pay for thee, and gave thee as much as thou mightest satisfy thine obligation withal. Of this wise hath Christ made thee free from the law, and therefore is this no wild fleshly liberty, that should do not, but that doeth all things, and is free from the craving and debt of the law.